Giving is better than receiving. Giving is better than receiving. Some time ago, a pal got here to me. They desperately want my offerings as a therapist to assist them conquer a number of the demanding situations of their lives. Tom, as we will name him here, turned into unhappy, suicidal, almost broke, and typically now no longer in an amazing place. I labored with him for 3 hours straight, assisting him resolve his troubles and provide you with a course of action so he should pass on and smash through the limitations that had been protecting him again. After the session, Tom apologized to me for behaving so badly and requested what he should do and go back for all of the assist I had given him. Like you do in a state of affairs like this, I simply smile and say not anything, I'm glad to assist. The appearance of challenge and fear on his face at now no longer being capable of paying me again amazed me. At that time, I had a revelation. I should insist that he did not anything and inform him to leave. But however, I noticed his face and found out that he truly desired to provide something and go back for what he had received. I found out that the first rate I should provide him proper now turned into to simply accept his provide and say yes. Doing this, I recognize him and I make him experience very unique and desired. I answered to him, do something you experience is appropriate. He smiled, agreed, and modified the subject. A few days later I were given a name from Tom. He informed me how nicely he did and the way satisfactory it turned into to be alive for the primary time in months. He additionally invited me to his residence the subsequent Friday night. I requested what it turned into for and he simply stated, only been there at 7 p.m. No combating with him. We cannot resolve troubles with the manner of wondering that we used whilst we encountered the problem. Albert Einstein. 7 p.m. Friday arrived and I rang the doorbell. He opened the door and smiled whilst he noticed me. Welcome, are available Richard, satisfactory to satisfy you. He shook my hand firmly and ushered me into the residence. He then checked out me and stated you did a lot for me that night. I realize you're a totally busy man or woman and I simply desired to do something to thanks. Now Tom is aware of me pretty nicely and is aware of that my finest passions are books and pizza. I even have lots of books on all sorts of topics and acquire them with passion. He sat me down and gave me a pitcher of wine and we chatted for a while. Finally Tom stated, now, you probably did loads for me the alternative day and I truly recognize it. I cannot come up with the money for to pay you completely on your time. At that factor I commenced mumbling that it turned into now no longer necessary, he turned into a pal, and so on. When you provide pleasure to others, you get extra pleasure and go back. You must consider the happiness you could provide. Eleanor Roosevelt. However, he continued, so I even have something for you. He pulled out a container from beneath the espresso desk and so passed it to me. This is for you to mention thanks. You do not must, I stated, feeling a bit uncomfortable, and I opened the container. Inside turned into a pile of used books. I pulled them out and commenced searching round. Not an awful lot I realize, however I realize how an awful lot you adore books, and I even have this with inside the attic and notion you will truly recognize it. Tom checked out me, a massive smile on his face. The container contained approximately a dozen self-assist classics from the 1950s. I turned into amazed and amazed. When we attempt to be higher than we are, the whole thing round us receives higher too. Paulo Coelho. I need you to have this as a thanks for the whole thing you've got achieved for me and for assisting me get myself taken care of again. Just then the doorbell rang and Bill jumped up with a much wider smile on his face. Pizza is here, he stated as he ran to the door. By giving Tom the possibility to pay off what I did for him, it has elevated his self-esteem. It made him experience desirable due to the fact he felt he had a responsibility to me. This has been referred to as the law of reciprocation. That is, whilst you do something for a person else, they experience obligated to do something again. By letting them do so, you could cause them to experience higher approximately themselves and extra valuable. The subsequent time a person gives to provide you something, ask yourself if it is higher with a purpose to get hold of than to provide in that state of affairs. Through receiving you could frequently provide extra than you could imagine. Thank you for watching, like, comment, and subscribe.